Namaste. My name is JVN Manisha Singh, Assistant Professor in Department of Food and Biotechnology under Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I am teaching you subject Unit Operations in Food Industries for class BSc FST second semester and BTech FBT second semester. Okay. In our previous session, I was talking about the cooling process, and in today's session we will discuss all about the freezing. Okay, so what is freezing and its principle and the methods of freezing is discussed in this session. So let's begin with the topic, what is freezing. Okay, so freezing is a unit operation. Of course we are studying the unit operation subject, so it is a unit operation, and freezing is a method of preservation, and it is a one of the most beneficial preservation method. Okay, so it involves the conversion of liquid content of the food, basically the water, into the ice crystals, which basically lowers down the water activity and microbial growth and is arrested due to the cold shock. Pure water is frozen at 0 degrees Celsius, but since fruits and vegetables contain number of dissolved solids like sugars, acids, and they freeze at below 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so what is the process of freezing? During the freezing process, the commodity cools down below the freezing point, but don't freeze. This phenomena is known as supercooling. Okay, and at supercooled storage, nuclei formation, basically nucleation is done, which is the first and the most important step in the ice crystal formation in the freezing process. Here, the temperature of the water will be lower than the 0 degree Celsius, but it will remain in the liquid form. At this stage, further lowering of temperature results in the formation of the ice crystals, and the second step is known as crystal growth stage, and the release of the heat of the crystallization further enhances the temperature. That is, the since the food molecules contain substantial amount of solute, hence a progressive freezing occurs, and various water molecules gathers around the nuclei, and due to subsequent addition, crystal growth occurs. And nucleation may be either due to the chance of orientation of the molecule or due to the induction of the nuclei from outside. But in fruits and vegetables, mostly chance nucleation occur. And in next step, the crystal growth around these nuclei occurs, and as a result of ice crystal formation, heat of crystallization is generated, which cause increase in temperature of the commodity. Okay, so time taken of freezing curve for initial cooling to the final point E of the curve is known as thermal arrest time, and it determines how quick or slow freezing process is. After this point, more ice crystals takes place and the temperature will lowers down. So what are the advantages of the freezing? As there is no application of the heat, so there is no nutrient loss, and that will retain the freshness of the commodity, and there is less texture changes, and there is a retain of color and flavor constituents, because when we apply heat, there that will change, these parameters will change, and there is no microbial contamination, because at that much low temperature, uh, least microorganisms will grow. Okay, so no respiration, hence longer shelf life will provide to the fruits and vegetables. Next is the effect of freezing. Freezing process is divided into the two broad categories, slow freezing and the quick freezing. Slow freezing is when the thermal arrest time is more than 30 minutes, and quick freezing is thermal arrest time is less than 30 minutes. Okay, so in slow freezing, less number of nuclei is formed. As a result of slow freezing, more concentrated solution is left in intercellular spaces, which causes osmotic effect, and liquid comes out from the cells. This affects the turgidity of the cell, and they collapse on thawing and cannot regain their original shape. Also, crystals forms are larger in size and pierce the cell membrane, puncture it and damage the cells, whereas in quick freezing, large numbers of nuclei are formed, hence having large numbers of crystals of smaller size evenly distributed within the cell and in the intercellular space. Since the process is very quick, hence no concentration effect occur and commodities retain their original shape. So next is the freezing methods, in which the mode of heat transfer in freezing food product is convection, and following points should be considered while selecting a freezing method. Number one is the product dimension, shape of the product, specific heat of the product, and thickness of the pieces, freezing rate, packaging, and food product components. Okay, so now let's begin with the methods of freezing. Right. So number one is freezing in air. What is freezing in air? So packaged or unpackaged non-fluid foods can be frozen in air at temperatures ranging from -18 to -40 degrees Celsius. And they have the three types: still air sharp freezing, blast freezing, and fluidized bed freezing. Okay. Under freezing in air, there are three types: still air sharp freezing, blast freezing, and fluidized bed freezing. In still air sharp freezing, it consists of placing products in very cold room, maintaining a temperature in the range of -15 degrees Celsius to -29 degrees Celsius. And sharp freezers are cold storage rooms, especially constructed to operate at and maintain low temperatures. And freezing time is generally 3 to 72 hours or more, depending upon the conditions and the size of the products. Okay, so no fan is used for this type of freezing. That's why it is still air sharp freezing. Next type of freezing method is air blast freezing. There is a vigorous circulation of cold air, enables freezing to proceed at moderately rapid rate. That's why its name is air blast freezing, because there is a vigorous circulation of the cold air. And products are placed on the trays either loose or in packages, and the trays are placed on the freezing coils in a low temperature room with cold air blowing over the product. In this, the freezing method fan is used for air circulation, and the temperature of the air is usually between -28 degrees Celsius and -46 degrees Celsius, and the air velocity is 15 meter per second. Next is the fluidized bed freezing, and it is basically a modification of air blast freezing, and solid food particles ranging in size from peas to strawberries can be fluidized by forming a bed of the particles 1 to 5 inch and deep on a mesh belt, and then forcing air upward through the bed at a rate sufficient to partially lift or suspend the particles in a manner somewhat reminiscent of a boiling liquid. That is similar to the fluidized bed drying, but the difference is that in the fluidized bed drying, there is a hot air is blown from the downside, and in this there is a cold air is blown by the blowers, and over which there is a bed of the strawberries, peas, corns, some small parts, so that the individual quick freezing is taken place, and they are come into the tumbling motion. Okay, they are dancing in the air. The product is dancing in the air, and that motion is known as tumbling motion, and that's why all the particles will come in the contact of cold air, and they will freeze in the air. So there is a less chances of lump formation in the food product, and that process is quite quicker than the other methods in the freezing in air. Okay, so that is the freezing in air. So advantages of freezing in air is it is easy and economical to build and can accommodate a wide range of products. It is economical operation and space efficient, superior quality due to continuous processing flow and controlled heat transfer, and it is easy to clean as well. And disadvantages are it is labor intensive, occupies a large floor space, and poor heat transfer, and may occur resulting in poor product quality, and excessive dehydration in unpacked products, and product damage due to sticking, and labor intensive and costly to clean. Next type of freezing is the indirect contact freezing. Now, what is indirect contact freezing? Indirect contact freezing, for example, plate freezers where packaged foods or the liquids are brought into the contact with the metal surfaces like plate or cylinders cooled by the circulating refrigerant. For indirect contact freezers, the product is indirectly exposed to the freezing medium while in contact with the belt or a plate, which is contact with the freezing medium. Okay, so there are two types of indirect contact freezing. Number one is the plate freezing, under which there is some bifurcation like single plate freezing, double plate freezing, pressure plate freezing. And number two is the slush freezing. In plate freezing, there is a layers of the packaged product are sandwiched between the metal plates, and the refrigerant is allowed to expand with the plates to provide temperatures of minus 28 degrees Celsius or below. So, for example, you are making a sandwich, for example, you can correlate this freezer from a sandwich, like you have a bread slices, you can assume them they are the plates or plate freezers plate, and the patty you place in between, that was your food product, which you are supposed to uh, freeze at freeze you are supposed to freeze that. Okay, so at the lower temperature, that product will come into the direct contact with that bread. Okay, so that will start freezing because these under the plates there is a refrigerant running in them. Okay, and that will changes the temperature. Okay, and that will lowers down the temperature and create the situation so that the patties will frozen. Okay, so the plates are brought closer together mechanically so that the full contact is made with the packaged product, and this method can be used for the meat, fish and dairy and other products where agglomeration of the food particles is not a concern. Okay, so there are further three types of plate freezing: single plate freezing, double plate freezing, automatic pressure plate freezing. And so pressure plate freezing is an important type of contact freezing, and this consists of a number of metal shelves or the plates through which refrigerant is circulated. The food, usually as flat packages, is placed between the shelves, and there is a provision after loading for applying pressure to squeeze the shelves into more intimate contact with the top and the bottom of the packages for the faster freezing. Next is the pressure plate freezing, that all is enclosed within an insulated cabinet, and depending on refrigerant temperature, package size, degree of contact and the type of the food, freezing time is 1 to 2 hours for commercial packages and 4 to 5 centimeter thick. And for automatic pressure plate freezing, a recent development in frozen food processing is the portable automatic double pressure plate freezer, and these have provisions for automatically loading shelves for the package line. As a shelf life is loaded, it is moved into the pressure contact with the preceding shelf and into an insulated zone where freezing proceeds. At the rear of the freezing zone, frozen packages are discharged, one shelf at one time, and the empty shelves return to the loading position. Okay, so these freezers provide for continuous operation, are automatically loaded from a conveyor, frozen under pressure, and automatically discharged from casing with elimination of manual labor. And this is done automatically and continually. And each freezer is portable and can be moved from one place to the another. Next type of freezing method is slush freezing. In case of liquid food and purees, the food is pumped through a cold wall heat exchanger and frozen to the slush condition, and the rotator is widely used for the slush freezing. A thin stream of juice is forced at about 50 psi pressure into the space between the center shaft and the heat transfer tube. Okay, just as rapid evaporation requires a large area of refrigerated heat transfer surface per unit of juice, so does the rotor freeze rapidly by causing a thin layer of juice to pass over a large area of refrigerated heat transfer surface. Floating scraper blades affixed to the rapidly revolving center shaft are forced outward against the heat transfer surface and automatically remove the product film which would otherwise accumulate. Ammonia is ordinarily used as a refrigerant in this equipment. And the advantages of indirect contact freezing is this method is used for both liquid and solids, and it is relatively faster and freeze individual food particles. And this method is ideal for thin, flat foods such as steaks, fish fillets, or burgers. And disadvantages are the inflexible, used primarily for the foods in packages, limited package geometry, and labor cost is very high. Next is under the indirect contact freezing, the immersion freezing. Liquid immersion freezing, usually referred to as direct immersion freezing, liquid immersion freezing, referred to as a liquid direct immersion freezing, it is basically accomplished when a food product, either packaged or unpackaged, is frozen by the immersion technique in or by spraying with a freezant that remains liquid throughout the process. Aqueous solution of the following substances have been used as a freezant, that is the propylene glycol, glycerol, sodium chloride, and mixtures of the salt and the sugar. Okay, so the cooling media should be non-toxic. If sugar solution contains 62%, it can decrease temperature up to minus 21 degrees Celsius. And 23% of NaCl solution decrease temperature up to minus 21 degrees Celsius. Glycerol is mixed with water to make a solution of 67% glycerol solution can decreases the temperature up to minus 47 degrees Celsius. This technique, although not common, is used commercially for canned citrus juice concentrate, for poultry, especially during the initial stages of freezing to impart a uniform white color to the surface, and occasionally for the fish and the shrimps. Okay, next type of freezing is the freezing method is the cryogenic freezing, and using the low boiling point liquid gases to freeze food product is called cryogenic freezing. And what are the cryogenics? Cryogenics is a branch of engineering where the production of cryogens and maintenance of low temperature technologies are studied. And a person who study the elements that have been subjected to extremely cold temperature is known as cryogenicist. Okay, so cryogenic freezing is a new method of freezing. Here, the food is exposed to an atmosphere below minus 60 degrees Celsius through direct contact with liquefied gases such as the nitrogen and the carbon dioxide. Due to liquid extremely low temperature, that is minus 196 degrees Celsius and minus 79 degrees Celsius, freezing is instant. Liquid nitrogen is most commonly used because of the very low boiling point. Okay, so there are two main types of cryogenic freezers, the one using the immersion or dipping of the product into the medium, and in the second type of the medium is sprayed onto the products. Okay, in both the type of product is continuously transported on a belt to the other end of the freezer. Usually those cryogenic freezers using dipping method or consuming more medium but give better freezing results. Okay, so while spraying method ensure lower medium usage, therefore lower cost. So the advantages are it has low dehydration, can be simpler to operate, and because no refrigeration is required, and lower capital cost, efficient freezing and high product quality, economical for low to medium and capacity production and test runs. Then disadvantages are the high operating cost of expandable refrigerant, dependence of refrigerant delivery, and should be monitored regularly, and potential operational hazard, uneconomical for large scale production. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is the preservation by the low temperature technique is the superior to the other methods of the long-term preservation because it is more effective and retain color, flavor, and nutritive value of the food, and moderately effective for preservation of the texture, and it is comparatively a less time consuming method. Okay, so from this session the questions may be asked like explain the freezing process with its advantages and disadvantages, and explain the different types of freezing methods used for fruits and vegetable and the food products with advantages and disadvantages. Likewise, questions will be asked in your final exams, so prepare accordingly. I hope this session is clear to all. Thank you so much for watching this session.